barrels per day, especially in 2021. Next. And the contribution for North Sabah is the bigger for hibiscus. And the completion of St. Joseph infill drilling did better than estimations. So the company is targeting 8,000 barrels per day in 2022. Fourth, that's increasing of production in new field. In 3 years' time, the group is focusing to convert 2C resources to 2P reserve in Marigold. So the company also target the production of Marigold to be 8,750 barrels per day in 2023. And there's a lot of new opportunities in hibiscus. Hibiscus acquired 100% in these two blocks. And yesterday, hibiscus has announced that they will join venture with 3D Oils with 50% non-operator interest in this permit. Next, hibiscus. From the financial report, we also found that hibiscus has a very strong balance sheet and they hold the cash on hand, and the net cash per share is 70 cents. And there's no debt, so the debt to equity ratio is 0, and that's 0 gearing, which these two have proven that the hibiscus company is very healthy company. And hibiscus well-managed average uptime levels, especially in N.I.C.E cluster and North Sabah. We can see that North Sabah is always maintained above 80%.
Hibiscus, a value unlocking gem. It is the first listed Malaysian oil company through SPAC. Hibiscus is focusing in monetizing the oil assets currently in United Kingdom, Malaysia, and Australia. It possesses a strong and experienced management team, which is led by Dr. Kenneth Pereira. It also possesses a strong corporate governance and practices social responsibility mainly in the educational purpose through the Hope Educational Fund. According to IMF forecast, the annual GDP global growth rate is increasing from 3.2% into this year to 3.5% in 2020. In the situations right now, it is showing a stabilizing Brent oil price, and with the re-entering of financial institutions and the private equity into these sectors that could provide more debt instruments and equity instruments to the company. There is also a rising tensions relationship between countries. This can be evidenced by the US that is applying sanctions towards Iran and the current oil attack in Saudi Arabia oil field. But however, the development of alternative energy, especially in the renewable energy, that could change the landscape of the whole energy sector, if it is proven that it is economically feasible. We analyzed hibiscus through SWOT analysis, which we found that the strength of hibiscus is it has a very strong free cash flow, and with the opportunities to turn 2C resources to 2P reserve. But there are also some weaknesses. Hibiscus is very exposed to the currency fluctuations and heavy dependence upon two producing assets, which is in North Sabah and N.I.C.E cluster. There are some threats, including the oil price volatility.
Hibiscus revenue is growing rapidly with a CAGR of 93%, and the main driver for the growth is due to contribution from North Sabah segment, and the EBIT for Hibiscus is growing rapidly as well with a CAGR of 193%, and this is due to lower OPEX. Thirdly, Hibiscus is focusing on capital expenditure to carry out production enhancement project in both segments to avoid natural decline and increase oil field production. And the fourth one is Hibiscus is currently having a net cash position of 274 million. In our valuation, we forecasted Hibiscus revenue based on total oil production per day, average Brent crude oil price, average USD NY exchange rate, and average uptime for each segment. And we have estimated a EBITDA margin of 46% based on the past performance, as we are projecting the Brent crude oil price are increasing only a CAGR of 3%, and it will be offset by the MYR strengthening. And the taxes for the both segments is as above. And we have calculated a discount rate of 10.9% through the capital asset pricing model, which is the risk-free rate. We are using the 10 years Malaysia bond yield, which is 3.442%, and the expected market return is 8%. And we determine the company beta using the regression analysis based on the 500 days daily prices compared to the KLCI index. and we got the terminal growth rate of 1.66% based on the oil demand and the internal contribution from other assets. And we have run a sensitivity analysis to check on the effect of the changes to our perpetuity growth rate and discount rate. Overall, we are using DCF modeling as our valuation because we are expecting there is a strong cash flow in the future and there's only few competitors in Malaysia.
In the peer comparison, we also cover that the competitor of Hibiscus, which is showing on the map. And from the table, we get it from we get the data from the Thomson router. We also study a few of the valuation method, which is enterprise value divided by the revenue, enterprise value divided by EBITDA, PE ratio, PB ratio, and we compute the average of mean and median to find out the intrinsic value of the company based on the industry average. And the target price is computed and showing below, which is on the bottom of the table. And at last, we get a conclusion is that beside the PB ratio, the other valuation method shows that the Hibiscus is undervalued.
However, we can't deny that Hibiscus also has the investment risk, which included market risk, financial risk, and business risk. So the market risk includes the volatility of oil price, the changes of policy affecting Hibiscus operations. For example, the Brexit issues will affect N.I.C.E, and financial risk include the volatility of USD exchange, the lack of funds for new ventures in the future, and they are hardly to get debt. And the business risk include the overrun of project costs, the unplanned maintenance shutdown for all the operations, and the reserve might not be 100% tally with the report because there are still some uncertainties that we can't calculate in 2C resources. So, in the conclusion, Hibiscus is a value unlocking gem. Thank you.
Thank you, students. Now will be the Q&A session. Okay, thank you for a very energetic presentation. Okay, I just want to go back to your projection of the barrels per day. Okay. How do you determine that for each one you have a target for like 8,000 and the other one is like 8,300 something?
The production we target is given by the management, company management. In the quarter report and in the investor briefing. During the investor briefing.
Okay, I come across one terms that you use, average of mean and median. Actually, how do you come up with such method? I'm actually curious.
Actually undeniable. Different market, the mature market and the emerging market will have different type of PE, different type of valuation type. Maybe in mature market we are going to use the PEG ratio and things of that. But I'm trying to let the audience know about the average of the whole industry and how the industry is going to work, and I'm trying to find the middle point of the valuation is high and the lowest point. The highest point and the lowest point of valuation, I trying to get a average benchmark.
some of these company that you use as peer comparison are actually very large in market cap. I mean the size itself. So can you say these are hibiscus comparable?
That's why we're using the DCF model as our target price valuation model. And undeniable, hibiscus enriched energy is a Gucci cat in the global world compared with those big giants in the oil and gas industry. Um, for example, the Petronas and this and that. And we're still hoping that hibiscus enriched energy can grow up and maybe they can be a huge giant one day, perhaps someday lah.
What is the discount rate used in this model?
10.9%.
What are your assumptions behind this figure? Because this figure seems to be mysterious as well. So what are the assumptions lying behind this figure? Assumptions used by you.
Okay, we come up with valuation. Okay, this is our expected market return, and we get the we calculate the market risk premium of using the government bond default rate spread. Okay, and we count after we calculate, we get it 7.63, and after that we deduct with the risk period, which is 3.44, which is the government treasury bond yield, and the expected return is 11.07. After that, we do a discount on 3%, then we get it 8%. I know everyone will be curious that why we doing the 3% discount. This is because there might be some uncertainty for the company lah, and we are quite conservative on this. Average market return, because